believe it's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love.
Yes, I got it wrong. Hello there. Welcome to the Flashing Blade podcast. I'm Siobhan, and da-da-da-da. Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. We're missing an area this evening. But anyway, right down there, look, you can see, that's the Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian, and I'm a recovering World of Warcraft addict.
Not really recovering the speech, though.
Not anymore.
Not today. Right-ho. And are you still American?
Sure.
I don't know. Over that way, that is your actual Dr. Sinister. Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
A famed story.
www.worldsbestestpoet.com. Just saying.
We will come to that. Don't worry. All the testimonials on the website are true. That's the worrying thing about it.
100% true. I select only the best to put on there.
It's worth it, quite frankly. Okay, so, Brian, how's your week been?
Painful, thanks to you.
Good. And Sinister, how's your week been?
I've had a lovely weekend.
Oh, what have you been up to?
Building Lego.
Lovely. Have you built anything?
I built a dinosaur. I built a Death Star trench run, and I built Darth Vader's meditation chamber.
A Death Star
Lovely.
trench run?
Yeah.
You're going to have to send photos of that.
Look it up.
Well, so
You're
do you
asking
then.
him to do stuff.
I know.
You know the answer to this.
Yeah, no, you're quite right. My week's been interesting, which leads me on to a bit of news. Oh, first things first, boys. Can you say hello to Thomas, please?
Hello to Thomas, please.
Hello, Thomas.
It's all right. It's my housing manager. He keeps watching this. I'm not sure why, and he never watches it any after we hit the Doctor Who section. He buggers off. But so I know when I want to say something, I know when I can say it. Right. First things first. The next 2 weeks, I'm not going to be available. On the second of those Sundays, Sinister won't be available either, so there won't be a show that evening.
That
However,
would be the Thanksgiving weekend for us Americans.
well, that's great. That's perfect. That means you're not having to.
That's your Thanksgiving gift, is that we don't annoy you.
I'm thankful
It's the gift
Siobhan
that
isn't
keeps
here.
giving.
However, next Sunday, I won't be here, but I've asked the boys to do a show anyway. And the joy of it is you can choose what you look at, what you talk about. I'm not. Look at them. They're like bloody rabbits in fucking headlights. Okay.
Know how to do stuff on Twitch?
Brian does, though, and I can give him the details for this account.
Brian might have forgotten.
No, he hasn't forgotten. Trust me, not after all the work he put in with Jess. He hasn't forgotten. I'm hoping they'll agree to do a show for next Sunday, but they may not be a show for 2 weeks. Have to wait and see. We finally recorded 2 fan dinosaurs.
Can we say hello to Tim in chat?
Hello to Tim in chat.
To Tim in chat.
Oh, hang on, I'd forgotten to get the chat box out because I don't have the chat box anymore on Streamlabs. For some reason, it's vanished and I can't find a way of bringing it back. Hang on a sec. Let me just... and I'm going to need to mute it.
Yeah, I can tell because we're still at 140.
We're still at 140. What do you mean we're still at 140?
Episode number.
Episode 140.
Yeah, I'll change it for the YouTube thing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I've done. I genuinely have no idea at all what I've done. Yes, hello, Tim. Your podcast about Dave was beautiful. I really loved that. You could tell that was so much from the heart. It was just wonderful, mate. Seriously. Right, so my week has been interesting. The reason I've got to go home, folks, is that my dad's dying. And I'm not going home to see him die. I'm going home to see him before he dies. Nina, my sister, hasn't told him that I'm coming yet, but I'm sort of saying, no, just tell him it's for my 55th birthday. That's why. And you decided, we could all meet in Jersey rather than, she's coming over to look at you. So that's where I'll be next weekend. And the Sunday after is my birthday party. Belated, but I suspect it might be quite noisy. No, I suspect one person will be quite noisy. Hello. So, just in case he's watching. Yeah.
No one watches this.
I think you're right.
Tim.
Bold of you to assume that people watch this.
Tim's watching this,
Well,
possibly.
We know the future historians watch it.
Well, no, I mean, it's not so much really they watch it. It's a required text.
They study.
Exactly.
It's the holy documents.
Indeed.
It's holy.
They're basing future
The gospel
society.
according to the blade.
Yeah. They're
Whatever we say
Mhm.
is their law. Kill the French.
Thing is, it's the future. There may not be any French.
Good.
How
Okay,
appropriate.
so we've discovered something very interesting here. Our show, wonderful as it is not as interesting as watching former Health Minister Matt Hancock, the guy responsible for Christ knows how many deaths, eating
150,000.
a kangaroo's anus on television. So,
Yeah.
I know my place, quite frankly.
I mean, if we're going to go out against prime time television, what do you expect?
I could have done with some warning. I didn't realise we had the competition.
It's equivalent to running to who against Rogers.
You keep cutting out.
80s.
You keep cutting out there for a second. Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Okay. News. The new Diamond logo is still unworthy of the Diamond logo. Sad news. Sad news. Kevin Conroy died. The Batman. Well, the voice of Batman. Adam West is the Batman. To be fair. Well,
He's been dead for years.
Yeah, it's either him or Michael Keaton.
I'm going with Michael Keaton.
But Kevin Conroy, absolutely amazing. He's the definitive Batman. It's just a shame it wasn't in real life, It's but that's a shame, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Any more
Sad.
news?
It was a sad Friday.
It was. Any more news? Has something happened? Oh yeah, we finished, let's say, Two Fan Dinosaurs. Full Circle is now up, and it's all 4 episodes. And yes, we got Andrew Smith to come and talk over it for us. I'm sorry about the sound. My microphone was a bit fucked up that evening. And don't worry if 4 episodes in one sitting is too much for you. You can always stop it and then go to your YouTube history afterwards and pick up from where you left off, which is quite useful. But yes, had a lovely time, didn't we? He was a really nice bloke.
Man.
Yep. You were great. You kept calling him Mr. Smith. Which
Well, being polite.
well, quite. And I did say I needed him at one point. So, yeah. No, so that's out there. Feel free to have a listen. Andrew has a good old chat. It's good stuff. As usual, we're taking a 1-week break, but we'll be back in 2 weeks with State of Decay. Episodes 1 and 2.
So you're doing a show on Black Friday.
What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, State of Decay is quite appropriate for Black Friday, is it not?
That's fair.
This is true.
That's fair.
I would have gone with the demons, but that's just me. I've
But we're
been to
doing
Walmart
season
on Black
18.
Friday.
What about Kablam?
Kablam would have been perfect.
Blam would have been good too.
I had to rack my brains to try and come up with another one, though, Brian. I have to admit. That wasn't easy.
Happiness Patrol.
Yeah, I'll give you that as well. Yeah. You're doing well tonight, dude.
Thank you.
I told you could host this show if you needed to.
No, thank you.
Look, there's 3 of you. Between the 3 of you, you can do this without me.
We probably can, but do we want to? That's the question.
That's the point, is we don't want to, and you should take that as a compliment.
But
Yes.
I want you to spread your wings and fly. That's why I'm not looking at Space Above and Beyond. I just leave
The
you
last
to it.
time, the
This
last
is why
time,
I have the RPG.
the last time a relative of mine spread their wings and flew, they got too close to the sun. and
Careful,
the back-
Icarus. Careful, Icarus.
This is
Oh,
why I
Icarus.
have the RPG channel.
Oh, that's a point. We'll have to talk about that at some stage, won't we? I've just realised things have changed. Aside from other news, I don't think... Oh, hang on a second. Blizzardgate. The Blizzardgate saga.
All your fault.
They've never got back to me. Garden Gate. The garden's cleared. I'm just,
You
well,
got too
almost.
many.
Yep, with the unworthy diamond logo. Just waiting for Guinness to come and finish off a few bits and pieces, and then I should be able to get the disabled platform in. So that's great. That's good news. Now, we'll go back to Blizzardgate. Like I say, I've had no reply
All your
about
fault.
my account or anything else like that. And so there's another version of World of Warcraft out there called World of Warcraft Ascension, or just... Sorry,
I'm sorry, what?
reflex action?
Whenever you mention World of Warcraft, instantly something
Not
like that
the
comes-
game that shall not be named.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, and basically it's a fan thing. And it's very well done, to be honest, you've got to admit. It's World of Warcraft. Except the class... Stop it! The classes have been, the professions and classes, the classes have all been unlocked, which means instead of having to stick to a strict mage build or a strict warlock build or a warrior, you can pick and choose from all of them and create your own build out of it. It's brilliant. They also have user builds, which you can choose as pre-builds to help you out, and it does it all for you automatically, and you're never quite sure what spell you're going to get next, but it's all part of making the build as best it can be.
Yeah, you can do random or you could do pre-made. If you're new to the server, definitely do the pre-made just so you get everything under your hat, and then do the random
mention
builds.
hats.
Just go crazy.
Don't mention hats. I'm trying to get a decent hat.
Why? Why shouldn't I mention hats?
Because I'm trying to find a decent hat. I miss my purple Brewfest hat.
You know what I miss?
Not playing World of Warcraft?
My 12-year
Free time.
chip from not playing World of Warcraft.
You didn't have to
Would
say
have been
yes.
13 come week from this coming Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. 13 years free.
13. Wow, that's impressive, Brian. That's longer than I stopped smoking for.
Yeah.
I stopped smoking for about 10 years.
Had a chip. I had a chip.
Did
I had
you?
to turn it in.
Oh, bless you. I'm surprised you didn't go to your sponsor, who I think was Jess, wasn't it?
No. She's now in it as well.
Right. So that must have been Retta then.
Yeah. No, she's in it now as well too. You're the devil. You know this, right?
You are puny, weak-willed humans. That's all I'm saying.
All it took was finding that one linchpin. Apparently, that was me. And everyone else just started falling in line.
I just wanted just one person, a little bit of company to play the game with on a casual basis. Oh no, not with these guys. No.
We are casual players. We've been yelled at for being too casual. Let that one sink in.
Yeah, trust me, they are not casual players. Believe me, they're not casual players. Oh my God. I'm not allowed to play an alliance character. I have to play a horde character.
Horde for life.
Yep, so I'm playing well, I've actually got two characters. I've got a level 70, which is max level, and I've got a level 24, 25, which is mostly hunter build, but with extra bits. And I just managed to tame myself a very, very rare elite pet, and the only one on the server. And I'm dead chuffed about that. Yep, that's good.
Are you sure it's the only one on the server?
Well, in 8 to 11 hours, another one will spawn in its place.
Somebody may have already tamed it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's the only black lion on the server. Anyone can, you can tame it, but that's the only place you're going to find it. That's essentially what I'm saying. I think that WoW proper introduced something. Another one, which was a quest reward. I'm not sure, but I've got Humar the Pride Lord as my pet, and that's the one I had for Garen, my character with the purple Brewfest hat in proper World of Warcraft. And so it's like coming home, and that's what it's been like. I mean, I haven't properly played WoW in years, mainly because I left it, and when I'd come back, it had moved on too far. And I didn't fully understand what was going on, and it kept happening. So the thing with Ascension is it's easy enough to just pick up and go, quite frankly. And it's been a wonderful nostalgia trip. It really has been really enjoyable. I said really twice then. Oh well. All we need, you see, what we really need here, Brian, is someone of authority, some figure of stature to join us. Somebody with their own, I don't know, secret underground volcano lair.
Somebody with their own nuclear weapons.
Yes.
Somebody with a clone army.
Yes.
Someone who will bring order
There.
to Azeroth.
Dr. Sinister, do you know anybody like that?
No, but I'm invoking Order 66, and I'm declaring a special version of Kitchen Gun with special rules. Siobhan, you're on point.
What are the rules then?
I'll tell you when we get to me.
So hang on, right? So I'm in the chair, or am I playing?
You're playing.
Oh right, okay. Well, we need.
Time's running out.
Okay, all right then. Share space, Squarespace. Sorry,
Brian.
Wondarium.
International Electromatics.
Oh Jesus Christ, that's not gonna. Fuck,
Oh,
that's
my.
fucked up my next move.
Wow, Sinister coming out hard and fast on the first one.
Yes. Look, I know it's not a high scorer, but it's a safe one to play. Raid Shadow Legends.
Well, you could have said that better, and to help that, you could have used Grammarly.
You see?
Magpie Electricals.
Feed
Bloody
me.
hell, you've been digging through the Wisdoms, haven't you? The Wisdom Kitchen Gun Almanacs. Audible?
Bombas socks. Boom.
I raise you, Cybus Industries.
Every time I get somewhere, he changes the fucking rule set. Oh, God almighty. NordVPN.
Ooh. That puts me in check.
Are you in nib?
No, I'm in check.
Oh, shit. I've got the wrong board out. Hang on.
Snooped.
I'm in nid right now. I can't think of it.
Okay, so you're in nib. Right. Hang on a second. We're going to have to do this. I didn't realise we were going to use these rules. Give me a sec. Hang on. Sorry, folks. I don't mean to blind you.
Nope, not in nid. I'm there again.
You're back out of nib, righty-ho.
Because, I've taken a second, I've thought about it, and I've said, hello, Fresh.
Oh, righty-ho. Okay.
With that move, Brian, you've been very bad. In fact, you've been Bad Wolf Incorporated.
No!
Right, I've now got to go outside and look to see what instructions Rose Tyler has left for me. Roll 5 dice. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Community chest.
That's a bold move.
That's no. I've just got plucked the card out. Community chest. I've won first place in the beauty competition. Collect £5. Who knew?
Checks in the post.
Thank you very much. So's the invoice.
I just think the Angels have the phone box.
I'm terribly sorry, dude, but that's not a proper kitchen gun station.
Yes, it is.
No, not unless you count. Not unless you count the 1972 tour in South Africa.
I'm going to let him have it because I've got a perfect counter for that, which is Atmos.
Oh, kitchen gun. That's my first game on the show. I've won. I'm chuffed about that.
Didn't see that one. I didn't see that one coming.
Well, I wasn't expecting you to say that, quite frankly. And that was fun. I enjoyed that. I was bloody racking my brains to come up with stuff, which is ridiculous. Because anyway, we don't want to get into a long discussion about the rules.
They're online.
They are online.
You can look them up.
Yep. What was I going to say to you? Well, as we have no Spanky tonight, we don't have a Big Finish review.
What were you doing other than listening to Big Finish there, Siobhan?
Talking to the new boy for 4 hours after midnight.
Uh-huh.
Were you playing World of Warcraft?
Anything else you were doing?
Hang on. There was sleep. Yes, there was some sleep.
You weak fool.
You're the one who's back in the game. Who's the weak fool now? Oh, God, you can see the look of resentment on his in his eyes.
Yeah.
Anyway, and now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who. Tonight is a salutary lesson. It's a salutary lesson in a couple of ways. One, it's an example of, it's a very, well, I wouldn't say it's an early example. It was an example around the time of the Five Faces of Doctor Who, of Terrance Dicks sorting out a problem. And secondly, it's a salutary lesson if you're aboard a certain Type 40 space-time capsule, that if you tap the radiation meter, the thing will eventually move up and start flashing at you. It obviously doesn't flash for too long, because when they come back into the control room, no one notices. Ladies and gentlemen, we watch Doctor Who in an exciting adventure with the Daleks, which is good because the hardback book has just come out, and it's lovely. Yes. So, yep. What's there to say about this? I mean, let's put to one side, yep, it's the first appearance of the Daleks. Okay? And they are a bit different to how, not the props, but the characterization is a little bit different than they would become. They're less shouty chant boys in this, quite frankly. Sorry, am I boring you, Brian?
No, puppy's asleep.
Oh, the little ace. Oh, bless him. Oh, by the way, say goodbye to Thomas.
Goodbye,
Bye,
Thomas.
Thomas.
Bye, Thomas. We probably missed him. He's probably gone already. Anyway,
How rude.
well, quite frankly, I shall email him forthwith. What was I saying? Yeah, put aside the Daleks for it. Just look at the actual production of it. Again, context is important. The smaller studio in Lime Grove, Studio D, prone to overheating and setting the fire sprinklers off. And yet somehow they managed to pull off a fairly convincing, well, A, convincing petrified forest, B, convincing metal city, C, convincing polystyrene bit of rock. I don't know if you noticed Barbara pulling off a little bit of rock by accident and having to stuff it back in, and there's just this little white bit of polystyrene. A lot of, well, a hell of a lot of that, of the atmosphere is created by Brian Hodgson with the sound effects and Tristan Carey with the music. It really makes it, no pun intended, quite unearthly, quite off-worldly, you know? It's that this has an atmosphere, this one does. And yes, after episode 4, it does drag into a Terry Nation thing of, well, I need to fill out some stats. I'll send them on a little quest. And bizarrely, there was no point for it, because once they get to the city, the others have come in through the front door. And it goes, we went through all that for nothing? Of course, everyone thought the Daleks were dead at the end of this. That was it. It was a one-off appearance. Until the letters started coming in. So, who would like to go first on the mutant, the dead planet, the survivors, beyond the sun? Oh, fuck. That one. Oh, God almighty. Come on, one of you speak.
Well, do they bump into the other people who've been through the front door?
Hang on. Since your microphone keeps cutting out.
I don't know why.
I think it might have something to do with the fact you might be a bit too loud for it.
Okay. Well, so not only do they bump into people who came in through the front door, they do so in such a massive, massive city. What are the chances?
Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew?
So, what else is there to say about the Daleks? They look very nice. They're not bashed to bits like they would be in later stories.
Very true.
They are played differently. They are played like frightened children.
Okay, some of that cut out as well. Your mic's cutting out when you get too loud for it.
Well, I'm not speaking any louder than normal. That's the strange thing.
I
It
don't.
could be the mic's just shit.
Must be. Brian, talk while I work out what's going on.
Okay.
Work out your thing. I'll go on.
That was subtle, Brian.
What?
Wow, Mr. Tact. Could be that your microphone's shit.
It could be.
Yeah, dear. Go on.
Yeah, these aren't the Daleks we're used to.
Are they the ones you're looking for?
No,
Oh,
not really.
Okay.
To be honest though, I'm not all I don't have as much reverence for this episode as you guys might.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the black and white era of Doctor Who.
I'll bear that in mind, in seriousness.
So when Patrick Troughton regenerates into Sean Pertwee and blasts it into color, I'm there.
And falls face first into a cowpat. Sorry.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, we've got one more black and white one to do. But like I say, it won't be next Sunday because you guys can choose exactly what you want to talk about.
If we have a show.
If we have a show. Carry on.
It is an interesting evolution that the Daleks go through.
Please tell me.
Well, you see them in this episode, and they're raw. I mean, you've never seen them before. You don't know what they are. As far as you're concerned, they're just some trash cans tipped upside down because they don't have a budget.
They were actually quite expensive. I think they were 250 quid each. And that's back in the early 60s. That's a lot of money.
Very expensive.
But this is them without all the history. This is raw.
Indeed, their history gets rewritten by Terry Nation.
They could go in any direction.
Yep.
Which is, for the most part, interesting. You can see where they want to take it, but where they're just not. It's not quite there yet.
Where are you thinking they wanted to take it? I'm not disagreeing. I'm curious.
No, I think they wanted to take it into definitely the super scientific aspect. But it just what the technology at the time they were making the show and everything, it just couldn't gel. I mean, you're bumping into doors. You got, the wheels on the Daleks go round and round, but let's hope they have solid ground.
Oh, do you see what he did there? Get yourself ready. You know I'm going to demand a comeback from that.
All right. How's your mic?
Is this any better?
It's not cutting out.
It's not cutting out, and you're very, very faint.
Right. Try switching microphones.
Okay, that's cutting out.
I don't know what's going on, and this thing. I've used the same for every show.
Okay, did you switch microphones?
Yeah.
Could you switch back?
You can remember how I did.
What was I going to say? Oh yes, I would like to compliment the person who created Williams Hartnell's wig for this story. Interesting. I think we can all agree on that. Yep, especially
Provocative choice.
Yeah, especially in yes, especially in episode 1. This is a precursor, of course, to Two Fan Dinosaurs' headlong dive into the beards of season 18. So, carry on, Sin. Let's see if it works this time.
Is that any better?
Yep. Shut up,
Not
Bran.
cutting out?
No.
Okay. Right. I don't know what's happening. Maybe my computer needs a reboot.
And it is a little bit faint, but don't swap microphones, because at least we
No.
can hear you and understand you.
So the Daleks in this are a bit sneaky, and they're like, as I said before, they're like frightened little children in this story, really.
Yeah.
I mean, and I also worked out whilst I was watching this, this is a reverse base under siege story. We have to break in. It's in this case the Daleks are the ones under siege. What is there to say? I mean, as I said, I don't know whether you caught what I said before. The props aren't all bashed up, which is a nice change because they're obviously brand new. Everything about the city is Dalek shaped, which is nice.
It's a nice design touch.
You don't see that in many sci-fi shows. They all seem to be the right size for the characters.
Strange, isn't it?
You know, it is, yeah. I mean, I think actually they are slightly different in this because they aren't the ones that are really in control of the situation. But I think as characters, they did come to this fully formed. I think the Daleks were there from day one, to be honest with you. They're xenophobes. They're scared of everything. They don't like things that aren't like themselves. They like to be in control. It's, you know, they were sitting there quite happy in their city thinking they were the survivors of this war. They were the only ones left on the planet. And then they find out there's a bunch of other people running around, and that's what pisses them off. You know, it's almost like if you've read any of the Hitchhiker's books, there's a planet called Cricket.
There is, yes.
Surrounded by a dense gaseous field that they can't see beyond it. They don't.
It's a
see
slow
the stars.
time envelope, but there's also a lot of dust for some bizarre reason in the atmosphere.
Basically, they never look up at the sky because it's grey. It's always grey.
Yep.
They never see anything else.
Nope.
One day, a spaceship crashes on the planet, and they're like,
Yes.
"What's this?" And they re-engineer the spaceship, and they send it out beyond the dust cloud. And their first reaction to seeing all the stars and the galaxy before them is, "It's got to go."
Well, yes, it just drives the whole race, everyone mad.
And I think that's exactly what happens to the Daleks here. They're quite happy in their own little bubble, thinking, "Hey, it's just us. It's wonderful." And then the Thals turn up. So I think I think in one of the Doctor Who stories, one of the later ones, is my voice still coming across okay?
Yes, no, you're fine, you're fine.
You're fine.
Very strange. Anyway, I think it's in one of the more recent Dalek stories where the Doctor says, you know, "What are you going to do when you've conquered everything?" And I think we've seen what the Daleks will do when they've conquered everything. They're just going to sit there perfectly happy. Because they were perfectly happy on Skaro, and they have been for hundreds of years. Perfectly happy in their city or underground, thinking they're the only ones around, and they're not bothered. It's only because the Doctor turns up that they go a bit nuts. So there's a lot that could be said about Dalek history, and one of the theories posited is that it's the Doctor turning up on Skaro that actually ignites their sort of, "Oh, where's he come from? We best go and find out." And then they go on to conquer everything. I mean, there's a lot to be said for that, really. I'm kind of rambling a bit.
Until
but I do-
1975.
Sorry?
Until 1975.
Yeah. But I think the Daleks are fully formed as characters in this. I can definitely see the attraction. They made the best use of them in this story. I mean, they're actually picking things up. The irises are moving. They're actually later Dalek stories. You just had painted eyes, and they didn't really do much with their suckers and stuff. I think this is possibly one of the best stories for the Daleks. And as I say, I've mentioned the set design. The forest looks amazing. The Thals, they're a bit dull, but you can kind of understand their background. In this version of history, their history says that they were the warriors and they've gone all peaceful, suggesting that the Dals, the original Daleks, were the victims. However, I prefer the I, Davros series.
Go on.
Where it becomes pretty apparent that I think it's the Khaleds that probably started all the wars, and they've wiped out everybody else apart from the Thals at that point in time.
They've wiped out the Dals.
Yeah.
The Dals is a separate species, and or race, and they're wiped out.
So I think Thal history is a bit confused on this point, to be honest with you, as it would be.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, history is written by the winning side, and to be fair, there wasn't a winning side.
No. I don't have much to say about this apart from this.
You've been doing really well.
It's one episode too long, I would say.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from.
I've always had this view, and I've said this before, and I don't mind saying it again. I think Terry Nation was a hack who got lucky.
I will agree.
And unpopular in some quarters, but I don't mind repeating it. I think he just got incredibly lucky, and the man knew how to merchandise the shit out of something. I think Ray Kuzik was is definitely the unsung hero of this. That could have been Ridley Scott.
It could have been Ridley Scott. Wouldn't that have been interesting? Someone needs to ask him, look, imagine you're back in 1963 with the BBC's resources and a budget of 250 quid each. How would you have designed it? Here's the design brief. What would you have come up with? In fact, don't even say what it is. And see what he comes up with. Because if you tell him it's a Dalek, he might be influenced. Because this is obviously going to happen. He watches the show. Ridley. Hi, Ridley.
The final thing I would say, I've been a bit non-focused in this because I haven't written any notes. I'm just coming to this totally randomly. I think you can see how padded out it is by the fact that exactly the same plot is told within 80 minutes in a film.
To be fair, though, the same could be said of Dalek's invasion of Earth and also Quatermass and the Pit. Because all three of those movies are superb summations of the TV series. 6 episodes at minimum, and they do it in 90 minutes. And you don't feel like you've lost anything. The
only thing that's a bit dodgy is in the final episode after they defeat the Daleks. Spoilers. Some of them are lying on their backs like they're dead. No, I prefer it when a Dalek.
But they'd been tipped over.
Yeah, but it looks a bit crap. I'd also forgotten that in the very first Dalek story, they had the photographic blow-ups in the background. I thought that was a later thing. I'd forgotten about that.
And they redid it with Power of the Daleks.
Yes.
So, well, all right then. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Boys and girls?
Black and white is holding me back.
I get where you're coming from. Man.
Racist.
I really do. If they colorized it, what would you think?
Oh, I'd love it.
Oh, well, each to their own, I suppose. We have no Big Finish review because I haven't really had the time.
Can I just say something?
Or indeed,
though?
I've been really wanting to. Go
on. I think we see the remnants of an earlier plot idea in episode 1 of the Daleks. When they find the
Magnodon, yeah, the Magnodon.
Yeah, the Doctor says, "Oh, this creature was obviously made of metal." And
SETI solidified.
I'm thinking that's a holdover, possibly from an earlier idea when maybe the Daleks were meant to be like that creature, and maybe the whole planet was full of metal creatures.
It's an interesting theory. It's a question of whether the paperwork would back you up.
Yeah, but sometimes you do see old plot elements.
Well, you know what the original plot outline for this was? Ended up being used in Masters of War. Sorry, say again.
There was meant to be a third race that had caused the war, and they turn up at the end.
Meaning the Daleks and the Thals have to team up to take out this third race. Even though either that or they turned around and come back realising what they'd done and trying to make amends. I can't remember, if I'm honest with you. It didn't exist! How am I supposed to remember something that doesn't exist?
Mandela effect.
Zug zug. Okay. So, next Sunday, if there's...
One other thing I want to say as well. Sorry, I'm just doing this. I'm just doing this domestically.
I hate you
Is my
so
voice
much.
okay?
Yeah, your voice is fine, Sim. Yeah.
I apologise for the earlier technical issues.
Right. So next week,
So one more thing.
you fucking bastards. This is how they get their jollies, you know that. This is how they get their jollies. However, it means no lollies. Just saying.
It's alright, I'm diabetic.
Oh, that's another assassination ploy ruined. So next week, if they do a show, what would you do for Doctor Who?
What's your favourite show, Siobhan? Your favourite story, Doctor Who?
And you can't say Genesis.
I wouldn't anyway. I genuinely don't think I've got a favourite.
You're just saying that because you know I'm going to say it as the one that we would cover.
No. Let me tick over on that one, will you? Just let me tick over on that one. Anyway, so in 3 weeks... Yeah, in 3 weeks... No, hang on. Next Sunday, Sunday after... I think it's 3 weeks. Yeah, whatever. It'll be in December anyway. We'll be looking at The Edge of Destruction, which is just 2 episodes, Brian. So don't worry.
I remember that.
Okay, well, that's good. Like I said, I'm only going through this again for Spanky and Sinister, and I'm now trying to think what my favourite Doctor Who story is. I used to say Legopolis.
I know one we haven't done before
Go
that
on.
we've never covered.
Go on.
Horror of Fang Rock.
Well,
We've never covered it.
if you do a show next Sunday, you can.
I'm just saying, we've never covered it.
Everybody dies.
Cheery, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ballad of Flannan Isle. Okay, so yeah, there's that. No Big Finish. I do apologise, but I've just not really been in the mood or had the time to do it.
She's been playing WoW.
I've had a lot on my mind as well. Come on.
Yes, you have.
It's,
In WoW.
oh, for fuck's...
Hats.
Yeah, I need to get a decent hat. I want a goat as well.
Well, you have leftover DP.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't find anything in there without adding any. You see, that's the problem. I'm trying to get my brain to do working now. This is going to be good. Hello. I'm going to go AFK. I'm going to make myself a nice cup of hot chocolate. I might even go and use the little girl's room.
And play WoW.
You're becoming obsessed, boy. That's just all I'm saying. Hello, Jess. Dear. Retta's not here in chat, by the way.
She had an emergency.
Oh, no. You have to tell me afterwards.
Why she wasn't with us earlier.
Okay, because last I saw, she was... I'm going into WoW sort of about 6 o'clock this morning. And considering... Was it 7, 8 hours yesterday?
Only around 9, 10 o'clock.
She did, 7 or 8 hours? Something like that yesterday.
Yesterday she played from 8 a.m. till whenever the hell we got off. And we kind of did that Friday as well. I told you, you have unleashed a monster.
Oh, what have I done?
All right?
What have I done?
You can't control this. You can only
No.
hope to contain it.
Oh, no, can't contain it. Oh, no. I'm washing my hands of the whole affair. I am?
No,
I
it's
am.
all squarely upon your head. You have unleashed this upon
Don't
society.
mention hats. Don't mention hats.
Oh, I'm bored. I want somebody to play WoW with us. You see what you've unleashed?
It's not healthy. Wow, Anonymous, you need to get in touch. Right, so I'm going to bugger off, make a cup of hot chocolate, go to the loo. But the boys here, and like I say, that's one of the reasons I've been doing this, the boys here are going to carry on with the show by themselves and probably talk about Space Colon. So, enjoy yourselves, boys. I will be back as
So we could just sit here till she gets back in awkward silence.
I was going to suggest that we talk about anything but Space Above and Beyond, and when she comes back, that's when we talk about it.
I'm down with that. I like that idea. Hell, we could review Big Finish.
Big Finish, yeah. So that weather, huh?
Yeah. How's your mic?
Sports team, eh?
Go sports ball.
Go locals.
What about those politics?
Wow. Just
Crazy.
typical. Yeah. And that celebrity, what was he thinking?
Absolutely cray.
Yeah. Just, you know.
This isn't going to work. We're going to have to do Space Above and Beyond.
All right. Whose turn is it to talk about the plot?
I think it's mine. You did the last one.
All right.
All right. So we watched Space Above and Beyond, The Angriest Angel. To be fair, some of us watched it last week because it was a continuation from the last episode. Chiggy von Richthofen is still flying around shooting down human pilots. And Colonel McQueen, decides he's had enough. So yeah, he apparently, when the Angry Angels were pretty much taken apart in the first episode, he was severely injured and he had some kind of chip put in his head that grounded him from flying. He has this chip removed with accompanying side effects. Also, he can go up in the in the hammerhead and show this alien who's boss. Hence Colonel BDE.
But not
Sinister,
before,
what did you think?
But not before a guy who looked like Henry Winkler tried to have a go at taking him out. And I didn't have time to look up if it was Henry Winkler or not, but it damn well looked like it.
It did look like him. Also, might we remember the passing, Ensign Janowitz that died fruitlessly thanks to Chiggy von Richthofen that gets the colonel up off his ass.
Yeah, so she tried to chat him up because she's feeling horny, apparently. Queen goes off on one because no one appears to be treating it with respect. Of course, as new member 58, he was inevitably never going to last beyond the episode, and she does get blown up, and that really pisses him off. It's kind of so we've gone through 2 episodes of them trying to take out Chiggy von Richthofen, including with a special weapon, which incidentally the Aerotech guy gets killed, doesn't he?
Yes. Thank God he gets killed.
Yeah. And then McQueen just goes out and just takes him out in one shot and comes home again.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The last 15 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, these people are on the way to a funeral.
Brian, sorry to interrupt. You've suddenly become very loud.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
He's stayed the same level for me.
I've stayed the same level.
How very strange. Oh, well, I'll shut up. Carry on.
So these people are on the way to a funeral for the disposable ensign.
Well, the thing is, though, where did you find the bits to do the funeral? Because she was blown up.
Yeah, I think it's just the next room down from the hangar, because they got to push the coffin out into space.
Yeah, but where did they scrape bits up from in space?
Time out. You're cutting out again, Andrew.
Am I?
Yep.
Okay, must be a Discord thing. Because mine's not changing the setting, and I've changed the settings.
I haven't touched anything.
We've got
Is it doing the same, Brian? Is it the same for you as well with Sinister?
Yeah, he does cut out.
How good are you at sign language or mime?
something strange going on.
How very odd. Oh well.
Well,
I'll say
while we
what
work
much-
through that technical difficulty, let's go back to the technical difficulties on the USS Saratoga,
I blame Windows.
all caused by some
West.
robot that's crawling through the vents or something. How the hell did he get on there in the first frickin' place? There's a nice little war crimes gets committed when they
Yes.
torture the sentient AI.
Yes, Mr. Putin.
They get the needed information and then promptly deactivate the robot with prejudice.
They
Poor
send him
robot.
to the
It's going to be a deactivation. I mean, this show is about, it's just under Battlestar Galactica for its treatment of artificial intelligence.
yeah. Yeah.
They don't, push them out the airlock because that's clean. No, they go in and they actually zap the robots.
They take him apart.
Yeah.
I
There's a-
liked this one though.
It's a nice episode. It's a good arc. I like this arc. I find it strange that an alien spaceship, though, an alien fighter ace, would have "Abandon All Hope" written in English painted on it. But hey, whatever.
It's because when I first saw it, I thought that was weird, but I think the jig's just trying to fuck with people.
They do. It is stated that they have been aware of and observing humanity for a long time, much longer than anyone has thought of.
Yeah.
As I recall, that's kind of a foreshadowing of one of the major revelations of the series.
The one thing I will say is on the Hammerhead fighter, there's a front cannon which swivels, and there's a back turret that swivels. A twin turret. You never see them making enough use of that one because that covers their rear arc.
Yeah.
Now, if you were in the hands of a good pilot, that fighter should be pretty much invincible because you can't get behind it, you can't get on top of it. If you're underneath it, all it's got to do is roll.
Is
Yes.
the rear turret manned?
It's
No.
automatic.
Okay, thank you. That's what I wanted to know.
Honestly, I would have been more impressed had the rear turret faced forward and the bottom turret faced forward, and they give them both turrets. No.
Yeah.
I mean, they're turrets. They swivel.
Yep.
Kind of what they do.
And they can carry missiles.
Which is why I think that it's really a shame to have these Marines that are jack of all trades. I mean, they're ground troopers, they're pilots. A real pilot would have probably thought, hey, let's face it forward.
Yep.
Let's face them both backward.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Just seems daft. I mean, it's a tool. It's foolish to have a tool and not use it. Who wrote that?
Unless, and we don't know this for a fact, unless they can only have power to one or the other.
Well, they shoot solid shots also. They're not laser turrets.
So it's
They're
kinetic-
not
it's kinetic,
blaster
yeah?
turrets.
Okay.
They're actually shooting rounds of ammunition, which little bizarre, but okay. Hey, it's the future. We go to space through wormholes.
Yeah,
Where are the fucking laser guns?
well, the thing is, I mean, look, they can basically use rail guns, flechetti sort of rail gun thingies. Kinetic stuff is dangerous. It's very dangerous.
Especially to a spaceship. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just waiting for the disaster to happen up at I was going to say Space Lab, up at the International Space Station when some space junk hits it. Especially when China and Russia have been deliberately sending missiles up to blow up satellites. Idiots, quite frankly. It's just going to take one large accident and the world will be cut off from space. It'll be too dangerous to launch anything.
Well, then they're going to just shoot up nukes and evaporate everything.
Oh, dear God.
Do nukes actually vaporize debris or just scatter it?
Well,
Depends on how big of a debris you want.
it depends on their heat shielding, I suppose. The debris heat shielding. The debris itself should just melt, but it'll at the edges it'll scatter, won't it?
And then it'll rain back down on Earth radioactive.
But if it melts, it hasn't gone away.
It has changed status.
There you go.
It's a space liquid in space.
How's my voice doing now?
It's doing all right. It's not cutting out now.
So I'm been switching back and forth microphones. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. I think I might need to reboot my Mac.
I've no idea, my love. I'm sorry. I genuinely don't know. Did you enjoy this episode of Space Above and Beyond?
Very much.
Oh, yes, we already said we liked it.
No, good. Well, I wasn't here. So, you know,
It's your own fault.
I missed the memo. Well, that's good. What's next week's episode?
Don't know.
Fair enough. Sorry, boys and girls.
We'll find out next week. We'll find out in 3 weeks.
There's only about 7 or
Worth
8
a
to
try. Nearly got you, Brian.
No.
Nearly. That's
No.
all I'm saying. I nearly got you.
I've been told to humor the elderly.
Wise. Very wise. Okay. Thank you both. Told you could do it. You just won't listen to me.
No, we know we can do it. We just don't want to.
choose not to. Just say no.
So many of my plucky girl assistants in the past have gone on to things.
It would mean more responsibility, and I don't think either of us really want that.
No, I refuse
Or
to
deserve
fly the
it,
nest.
to be fair. You refuse. I can kick you out the coop.
Fine, I'll just go splat on the ground.
Cheerful thoughts for this evening, folks. Okay. So Callan then. Dum doo doo doo. Dum dum doo.
You forgot something, though.
You haven't done him.
What do you mean I've not done him?
What he's meant to be asked about a random thing he's watched.
You're quite right. I know exactly what's going to happen here. Brian, what
Yes.
random thing are you going to review for us this week?
Well, this week I'm reviewing the 2006 TNT miniseries Salem's Lot,
Hooray!
based off the Stephen King story. This has Rob Lowe, Andre Brower, Samantha Mathis. Sorry.
Magnus. Freudian slip. Or...
Samantha Mathis is
You can't do it now.
no. She was one of my '90s crushes. So there's madness in there.
Prevert.
Ever since Pump Up the Volume.
Hit it. Dum, dum,
It's
dum,
also
dum,
got
dum,
Rutger
dum,
Hauer,
dum.
Donald Sutherland.
It's a good
This is
cast.
all
This is a good cast.
all good actors.
Yeah.
Really good. In fact, I find it funny that Rutger Hauer is playing a vampire again.
I'm not going to tell you what it is. I know what it is he's referring to. If you don't, shame on you.
And it's got Donald Sutherland in it. Only this time he's not playing a vampire hunter.
Fair enough.
So it's Salem's Lot. Vampire comes to town. People start dying. Pretty much that's the plot.
That's it, is it? Right, okay. How the hell that became a best-selling book is anyone's idea.
Honestly, it's not that bad because it does deal with interpersonal relationships. In a small
Tibbets.
town, small towns always have their own little dirty secrets.
Of course, yes.
It's
It's in Maine, of course.
in Maine, Jerusalem's Lot. Gets wiped off the map. Most of the town gets turned way before anyone even realizes what's going on.
Surely that's the best way of doing it. I mean, if you're going to be a vampire.
Well, yeah.
Did people not notice the lack of everyone else being outside at day?
By the time they do notice, it's too late. This version of vampirism is the traditional version. Stephen King went for, undead, all that.
Bell book, candle, the whole thing.
One vampire on the first night turns into 2 vampires, turns into 4 vampires, turns into 8 vampires, and so on. It's a geometric progression. So by the end of a week, you're up to your necks in vampires in a relatively small town. And I mean everybody. They go after men, women, children, the elderly.
Meat.
No, blood.
Yep, fair.
There's only one that's really used for meat, and he's kind of the shady richest man in town deal. He's a little too friendly with his daughter, though they don't come out and explicitly say it because it's 2006. He's a little handsy.
I don't remember that from the book.
Well, they may have updated it. He gets his in a junkyard full of kids.
I'm gonna have to go back and read it again now.
So yeah, this Salem's Lot, 2006, Rob Lowe. Excellent. Definitely watch it.
Fair enough. I mean, I remember the original one with David Soul. I still love that.
Mhm.
I think it's really good. And I think I've seen this version as well, Brian. I can't remember though. But thank you for that.
No problem.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I've forgotten what I was going to say. So 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, I will remember. Fair enough. They call it Remembrance Day.
If you want to know what Siobhan is going to say, just remember to leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a vid.
It's not what I'm going to say. If you'd like to tell me what I should be saying, that would probably be better. It would help. I'm going to be honest with you.
Packet of Death to the Daleks.
No. You see, I'm okay now for Death to the Daleks.
All right, Genesis of the Daleks, and we might even read it out.
Wait, which Dalek of yours broke recently?
It was a Planet of the Dalek.
If you have a plan of the Dalek, please send it in.
Hello. I can't find the dome.
We're not just after freebies for the sake of it.
No. There's a reason for this. Somewhere. Okay, so, Callan. There's something about next week and doing... That's it. I've remembered. There we go. Gentlemen, you will be pleased to know I am finally watching Andor.
How many episodes have you watched?
5 or 6.
So have you seen the heist?
The gold heist or credit heist in the dam.
Yeah,
Yes.
you've seen that with they're being chased by the TIE fighters and stuff.
Yeah.
Right, that's 6 episodes you've seen.
Okay. The last thing I seem to remember is Mothma having a go at Stellan Skarsgård about going too far, because the Empire's going to just crack down now.
The next episode, that's episode 7.
Okay. How many are there?
12. We've done 10. You're about to come up on a 3-episode prison arc, which
Okay.
is fucking amazing.
Yes, that's what sent me back to it. People saying how last week's episode was just mind-blowing.
It's not a spoiler, but Andy Serkis is in it, and he knocks it out of the park.
I don't expect anything less, quite frankly.
And he's playing a human, not CGI.
Yeah. He's not doing mocap or anything like that. He's Andy Serkis.
What madness is this? Dear me.
And his character goes through such an arc, and the end is heartbreaking.
So you could say it's an arc in space.
Yes.
Hooray! Right then. So we will look at that once it's over and done with. Because after those first 2 deathly episodes, it does take off a little bit. And like you say, it's just going to get better, apparently. So
What do you think of it so far?
it's okay. And yes, you're right. It is definitely different to Star Wars.
And also, Stellan Skarsgård makes an amazing speech in episode 10.
Well, thank you for that. I've got that to look forward to. Is anything about you need to sit down and talk? You can change your mind. Do you know what changing your mind is?
No, it's almost the polar opposite of that, actually.
Oh.
This is so far beyond changing your mind.
Yeah, this is about sacrifice.
Okay, enough. All right, I don't want to know. Anyway, suddenly, the world turns into colour. And David Callan's in hospital.
Did he regenerate?
No, he didn't. And he didn't get his clothes from there either. This is the first episode of series 3 of Callan, and from now on, I think everything exists. I think. I'm not sure, not entirely certain. Things have changed apart from it being in colour. Callan is recovering. It's taken him about 6 months to recover from his wounds. He was cleared by an inquiry because he shot and killed the last hunter, and Toby Mears put 2 bullets into him, and that's why he's been in hospital. But of course, there is a new hunter now, who's a shadow of his former self. Thank you for that joke. Thank you very much. It's William Squire. It's a good joke. I said it's a good joke.
Chuckle, chuckle.
Thank you. Just some sort of acknowledgement. That's all I ask.
Oh, we acknowledge it. We don't want to encourage it, though.
You're on form tonight. I hate you. Anyway. Okay. Toby Mears has been sent to America. Or, in the real world, he's been sent to Colditz, where he's being a complete bastard of a prison guard, well, officer, in German officer in Colditz. And like I say, he's a complete bastard in that. And I think we need to do Colditz. I really do, at some stage. Yeah, it is a bit samey, but they make enough plot for 2 series. So instead, we've got Patrick Mower, old Target himself, coming in as Cross. He's a new lad, but he thinks a lot of himself. He's a smarmy git, quite frankly. I think that's fair to say, don't you, Sin? Smarmy git?
Right. He's cocky.
Yes, he's cocksure, most definitely. No 2 ways about that. That's not going to backfire at all. There's going to be changes during this series of Callan. Some you may not expect. Anyway, so Callan comes out of hospital. Unfortunately, it has had a psychological effect on him. Because he shot someone, a friend of his, and then got shot by somebody else, there's a chance he may have lost his aggressiveness, and he's going to be useless to the section. And so, the new hunter is an utter bastard. And he's also quite good at looking into the future. He thought he might have this problem with Callan when Callan got back, so he arranged for Lonely to end up in prison. Because Callan wasn't around to look after him, to look out for him. And so basically he's going to get Lonely, who doesn't realise it, but Lonely to put the pressure on Callan to try and get that aggressive instinct back. There's a couple of absolutely fascinating scenes between Lonely and Callan in prison. The first one, Russell Hunter is so subtle with this. But you can just see Lonely realising there's something wrong with Callan. This is not the Mr. Callan he knows. And then the second one is when Callan finally breaks and Lonely just sits there and goes, "Welcome back." He knew what he was doing. Between those two moments, Lonely knew exactly what he was doing. And it's just such wonderful character development. Their friendship is intriguing. And that is essentially the plot. No one's out to be killed or anything else like that. It's Callan getting back on his feet after the traumatic events of the previous episode. And it's a lovely character piece, quite frankly. Sinister.
I don't have much to add because there is no killing in this. He's not on a mission or anything. The interesting bit I find is that Hunter realizes that he needs Callan to resent him and to fight against him in order to get the best results from him, which kind of puts a lot of previous stuff into perspective, because before Callan was very disrespectful to some of the hunters and you got the impression they didn't like it, but now you realize that it's a necessity. Actually. It's required. Otherwise he doesn't work.
What do you think of this one?
It was a nice continuation from the last one. I thought it was fine. Hope we get back to something normal next time.
I'm not so sure we do. Oh, we will do eventually, but there's something else that has to happen first. All right, the next episode, again, a little bit atypical. But wait and see. Okay, I'm loving this. I absolutely adore Callan, so for me this is a happy, sunny walk in the park with a picnic, quite frankly, and no wasps. Isn't that amazing? So, yeah. Right, what are you doing next week, Brian? Apart from World of Warcraft because you're weak.
Out-leveling you.
I have a level 70, so...
How did you get that level 70 again?
By sheer sweat and blood and hard work.
And a lot of donating money and no money exchanged hands at all.
Well, look, the way I see it is that I would be paying Blizzard 10 quid a month, and it's a case of I'd rather.
So
give
essentially, you bought your 70.
I bought my 70, but I had reasons for it. I want to relearn the Outland dungeons so that by the time you guys come up, I'm not going to be a hindrance. It's that simple. I'm a bit worried about that. Plus, I want to do some heroic dungeons as well. I don't think I've done them on heroic before. So, and I can start gearing up for. We're not actually going to do raids, are we?
Oh yeah.
See, that was something I never did. That's something we never did in World of Warcraft. I think we did it once.
You've unleashed the beasts. You've taunted the bull. You're getting the horns. We're doing rating.
I
We're
mean,
gonna do the whole thing.
I mean, I used to have that problem with Star Wars: The Old Republic. I was the guild tank, and so every bloody night somebody wants to go off and do a raid, and I couldn't let them down, which meant I couldn't go and play alts and level different characters. You know, I had to play Nut Bunnies. I think it was Nut Bunnies. My tank.
Here's the thing about
I was very good
WoW.
at it. I was very good at it.
You think you can go and do a alt when you're done with your main character?
Uh-huh.
The problem is you're never done.
Are we boring you, Sinister?
Listening quite happily.
Stop chewing. Unless you brought enough for the rest of us.
I'm not chewing.
See? Yeah, he stopped. Isn't that amazing? Remarkable. That's power. The power of the mind.
It's okay. It's okay. At this age, some things tend to go.
Yeah, and we've discussed that. I've got to talk to you as well, Sin, afterwards.
Yeah, a little bit of WoW, a little bit of watching stuff on TV or computer now.
All right, so I
need
take
something
it,
on the opposite screen.
in seriousness, I take it you guys aren't going to do a show next week. I mean, you can, please. But I could do with a decision. So that the viewers know.
I thought I was getting a week off.
Yeah.
Well, you're having a week off the following Sunday. You're going to the pub.
I thought I was getting a fortnight off.
All right, look, would you like to leave it then?
Yeah, we can leave it.
All right. Okay, but at some stage I'm determined to get you guys to do at least one show on your own without me being around. It's your training, love.
I don't need to train.
How to be a good podcaster.
I don't want to be
you're-
a
you're-
good
you're
podcaster. I
doing-
want to be a shitty podcaster.
But you're doing really well. Admittedly, we've not managed to get any interviewees on here because the one interviewee I want to get can't come on. Long story, can't go into it now.
So are you saying Two Fan Dinosaurs has done better because we've actually had a guest?
Yeah.
No, we've had Toby on it.
We've had multiple guests on this show.
We've had Toby, yeah, but I don't really see him as a guest, more of a mate. So, look, I've been around in fandom a very long time. I know people, all right? Can't be helped.
Sounds like a threat.
John Levine. So hang on, let me give you a date, so they're absolutely certain. All right, so it'll be no, it won't.
It'll be the 4th.
4th? No, it won't. It will not be the 4th. I think it's going to be the 27th of... Yes, 27th.
No.
Yes, it is. It's the 27th, and then we're off on the 4th.
But that's Thanksgiving weekend.
That's the Thanksgiving weekend.
What, the 27th?
Yes. You said the 20th?
Yeah, no, I was just looking at I'm glad I looked at the calendar now, because we ended up agreeing that it would have to be the Sunday the 4th that we all meet up. And I didn't realise there was an extra week there, which is the 27th.
Consider it our mid-season break.
Didn't we have an enforced one of those on Two Fan Dinosaurs?
That's a different show, run by a different production.
Would you like to come back on the 11th of December? So we got 3 weeks off. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm absolutely fine with it. It might be nice to take a break, quite frankly. You know, we come back with Edge of Destruction. Say something.
Sure. Sure, the 11th.
The 11th of December. That's when the next Flashing Blade will be, if I remember.
And then we'll go to the 18th, and then we'll take off for Christmas.
Oh no, we're not taking Christmas off.
Oh, you're doing a show on your own then.
If there's a Doctor Who story on, we're broadcasting.
And then it's New Year's Day.
Oh, there's not going to be a Doctor Who story on this Christmas.
No.
Who this Christmas?
Ah, dear me. I'm going to be very lonely this Christmas. Lonely this Christmas. Uh-huh. Sorry. Thank you very much. So, yeah, we will be back on what did we say? It was the 11th of December. Like I say, my apologies, but apart from Thanksgiving, my personal life has got in the way. Okay. Two Fan Dinosaurs will be back in 2 weeks' time, however, and we'll be looking at episodes 1 and 2 of State of Decay. In the meantime, we are on the Area 52 server of World of Warcraft Ascension. Remember, you can pick any powers you want as you level up. You can be anything.
It's also free.
It's
free.
It is free, which is nice. And we're on the Horde side. All right, so, leave us a message if you want to go and join us. Leave a message on a comment on the YouTube channel, and we'll try and add you as friends. All right, you never know, might get enough people to make a guild. Seriously, I think we're probably going to need to join a guild at some stage. What are you doing?
I'm being the guy from the Sunmakers.
Oh, Yuzurian.
Yeah.
Heinz Wolf. Brilliant actor. Absolutely brilliant actor. Right, so that's it. Hopefully, we'll have Spanky. Are we going to tell Spanky that we're not coming back till the 11th?
But we ought to.
Should we?
Somebody probably should.
I'll think about it. Maybe.
Maybe by the 11th he'll have worked out how to change the number on the show that we're doing.
Well, he's not doing
No.
it. I am.
I think you're overestimating.
Do you owe me a cup of coffee just then, Sinister?
For what?
You said he.
I didn't say he. I said
Watch
you.
it back. Watch it back. Watch it back.
ahead.
Right, if I'm right, you owe me a cup of decaf coffee at the cafe.
You're not right.
We'll be able to tell
right.
afterwards. I'm not sure quite what that noise was. I'm going to be honest.
Anyway, I bought you a cup of coffee this week.
Oh, that's true. I really did enjoy your visit. I've got to admit, I really needed that. It cheered me up. Oh, shush. That's it, I think, isn't it? What are you doing next week, Sinister?
I'd rather not say.
What is my dog up to? Trix, what you up to? Hello? You can wag your tail at me. That's all you can see. I think she's curious about the new light. Or she's dropped something somewhere? Trixie, what are you doing?
Probably
Maybe
the
she
Dalek
found the
Dome.
Dalek Dome.
Hello? You don't often come along and say hello on the show. No idea. There's no food or anything there. Is there? Is that what you're looking for? I'm just going to wag my tail. Right. We'll be back on the 11th of December, boys and girls. But next Friday, Two Fan Dinosaurs, State of Decay. Best say goodbye then.
Bye then.
Goodbye then.
Oh, hang on a second. Have I got to roll the closing credits?
Look at that. We're almost bang on an hour and a half. That's proof of our theory.
It is.
That's a good theory, that. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm now going to play the closing title sequence. Ta-ra!
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for. fighting for.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's John Levine.
Dr. Sinister, would you care to say that again because you were so quiet under the music?
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she's John Levine.
Good night.